where do I even begin? Like a lot happened today. I didn't want to record during the afternoon because the window was still open and we had until 7 p.m. I just wanted to see everything play out before I said anything. And I could say, yeah, it's been an interesting window. I think overall, I think it's been a very good window, like just in general. But for us, yeah, I've got mixed feelings about it. I really do. I really do. I think we started the window very well. We signed João Pedro, we signed Delap, we brought in Hato, we already had Esteval. That deal was already done, but he was set to join us in 2025. Sugo, I thought that was a good signing as well. Mamadou Sarr, who's now loaned out to Strasbourg, and Somino, who's loaned out to Dortmund. Like those, I thought I was very happy with those signings. And then we signed Gittins, which I found very uninspiring. And then Benitez Garnacho, unfortunately, bought him. And I thought, okay, what about the Xavi Simons deal? That didn't happen. And then we spent all that time, like all those weeks, just to get that, trying to get the deal done, only for us to not put in a bid for the player in the end, which I understand. I get it. Because again, Xavi Simons, ideally, was meant to be backup for Parma. But of course, if he's going to be backup for Parma, I don't think we're going to spend like 60 million or 50 million or however much they wanted us to spend for someone to be backup. So it made sense for us not to. I guess I get it. I understood it. But then looking at Fermin Lopez was pointless because if we're not going to meet RB Leipzig on their valuation for Xavi Simons, then targeting Fermin Lopez is pointless. One, the player doesn't want to leave. Two, the club don't want to sell the player. Three, the manager wants him, still wants to keep him. And four, then even if they wanted to sell the player, they would probably want more than Leipzig did for Xavi Simons. So I don't think that deal was not going to happen. So that led to us loaning in Bonanotte, an attacking midfielder from Brighton. I think they just bought him from Leicester. So he's now coming on loan. So that's another player. And from what I've seen, he looks alright, but that's all I can say. I can't say a lot on the player. But honestly, if I were to rate this window out of 10, I'd have to give it a 6 at best. And that's lenient. I say a 6 at best because it started so well. In terms of like incomings, it started so well but ended very badly. Oh, okay, maybe very badly is a bit of a stretch, but we didn't end the window very well. In terms of like departures, that was great. I mean, I think we brought in 300 million in sales. That was brilliant. Madueke, Nkunku, Joao Felix, Petrovic, Ugochukwu, Dewsbury Hall, Vega, Broya, Chukwemeka. I mean, even Nicholas Jackson and that saga was crazy. I mean, we agreed a deal with Bayern on Friday, and he was set to go there, and quite for a high loan fee as well. I think the loan fee initially was like 15 million, and then the day after, we played Fulham. In the first 15 minutes, Delap goes off, hamstring injury. We go on to win the game, but then right after the game, just a couple minutes, I think, or an hour, we hear Chelsea want to cancel their own move. They want Jackson to come back because of the Delap injury. Jackson, obviously, he'd be furious about this because I saw videos of the guy landing in Germany, just shaking. I don't even think the guy even was aware, and I don't expect him to be, but he just landed in Munich. He had just landed, and he's hearing now that Chelsea want him to come back, and he refused, and rightfully so. I was happy he refused because I was like, we made it very clear to this guy that he's not a massive part of this squad anymore, and there are a lot of clubs in for him. I don't think he's going to settle for being third choice, especially after everything he's done in like the 2 years that he's been here. Not to say that and I'm not saying this as like a Jackson defender. I was honestly I didn't mind if he left or stayed, honestly, but honestly, we did not do this player any justice at all, because one, we agreed to deal with Bayern to loan him out there with an option to buy it. Then we went back on it, asked the player to come back, just to have the deal with Bayern on hold, and then later on put out that, oh yeah, we don't want to bring back an unhappy player, but like, then what was the point of cancelling the loan move? But it did play out well because the deal was back on, and we agreed a deal with Bayern, and we got a higher loan fee. I think it was about 16 million, and there was an obligation to buy for about like what 56 or something million. So a full package in the region of about like 70 million basically. And I've got to say, for Jackson, that I'll take that. I'll take that. Honestly, that as long as that saga's over, the player's now, he's in Munich. He's officially a Bayern player. He's been announced. That saga is over. Honestly, that I guess that must have been a wild weekend for Jackson, and I felt bad for him because I was like, even though I get, like, of course I get it. We have an injury to Delap, and João Pedro's the only person that we have. I get that, but that's not Jackson's problem. You know what I mean? If I'm Jackson and I'm hearing that, that's not my problem. You made it clear I'm not a big part of your project. I'm leaving. So yeah, I'll be honest. Jackson, his season was almost ruined. But as for us, we ended up recalling Mark Yu, and I was happy that we recalled him. But I was initially very annoyed. I was very annoyed that we loaned him out to Sunderland in the first place because he's not going to get game time there. It was a similar story with Gilmore to Norwich and Santos to Forest. I don't understand why we loan out our talents to promoted clubs. They're not going to play with those clubs. They're trying to stay up. They're not there to oversee the development of certain players. Like, loan them out to a Brighton or a Palace or Strasbourg, or loan them out to like those teams. Do not loan them out to like the teams that are trying to stay up. Like, it's, even though I think Sunderland will actually surprise people this season, and I made it clear in my predictions video, that's not the place for Mark Yu to go to. So I wasn't really happy that we sent him there. I'm happy we brought him back, but at the same time I do feel like that was just a waste of time. Also, I was a bit unhappy that we didn't give him a bit more game time when he was available last season. Hopefully, I don't even know if he'll get game time this season now that he's back. I don't know if for ease him. I feel like Maresca would rather play Pedro Neto in the. I think Maresca would rather play Pedro Neto as a striker than play Mark Yu, which isn't great, honestly. I mean, obviously I don't mind that as a last resort if you don't have any strikers, but if you have a striker available, play him. Because again, he's young, but like, where's he going to get the experience from if he doesn't get the minutes? That's the concerning thing. And I guess another thing about the window that I don't like, that we signed Garnacho or Gittins. I think we didn't strengthen on the left-hand side. We just spent 90 million on two players that wouldn't start for our best 11, so that was a waste of time. These two wouldn't start for our best squad. They wouldn't. And we needed a goalkeeper for over 10 years, well, nearly 10 years now, and we still don't have one. The centre-backs, initially I'd have liked a centre-back, but we brought in Sarr, we also brought in Anselmino, and they're out on loan, so let's see how they do. And to be fair, we have Chalobah, we have Tosin, we have Hato, and we also have a Chempong, so we're okay. We're okay for now. I mean, even Reece can play as a centre-back, as a last resort, so I'm not panicking about the centre-back. The goalkeeper, I don't like that we just downplayed that, to be honest. Like, I get, I guess Mike Penders, I get it. He's a keeper we brought in. I think we bought him last season and sent him out on loan. I don't know where he is now, but I don't know what the plans are for him. But we need a goalkeeper. That needs to be sorted out. But it's too late for that now, so we're going to have to persist with Sanchez for another season, and we sold Petrovic, so that didn't help. Yeah, so I don't know. It was a good window. I'd say it was a good window. It's not a horrific window. It was a good one, but we did not end it very well. It was not a good ending to the window.